If unwanted thoughts are taking over, don't wait to get help. Visit nocd.com to book a free call with their team.
If you want to get our shows ad-free and our exclusive shows, go to patreon.com/kindafunny.
Today's gaming news stories include critics have harsh words about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, Mindseye DLC will reveal how the game was sabotaged, and Stellar Blade's developer acquires Shinji Mikami's new studio. Of all this and more, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, 2026. I'm your host, Blessing, Adeoye Jr. Joining me is the legend, Greg Miller.
My last day of work.
Oh, no.
April Fools.
Oh, damn.
I got you, Bless.
I was like, damn, this is spring break starting early?
Yeah. I just unexpectedly on Thursday, I'm leaving.
Yeah, damn. How you doing, Greg?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Did you get got yet by any April Fools?
No, I don't think so. Because usually you start reading the headline, you're like, yeah, this is stupid. This is April Fools. You know what I mean? I don't know. Do you care about it? Do you find any enjoyment?
I think since starting this job, no, because my job is to compile news.
Yeah.
And so when I'm compiling news on April Fool's Day, it actually makes my job harder.
Yeah.
One of the ones that did get me as I was putting together KHD was IGN's April Fool thing.
Oh, I haven't seen it. What is it?
It's pretty good, actually, because honestly, it's one of those ones that actually tricks you. It's not like, you know, the live action Zelda thing where it's like, if you know...
PlayStation announces Project Playmo.
Yes.
It's next gen DualSense.
This one
will change the way, you know, PlayStation's got a lot of bad ideas, so that does make sense. Yeah,
and like I think this is like loosely based off of patents that had existed.
Yeah.
And so as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh shit, it's happening. And then I get halfway through, and I was like, no, this can't be real. And then I remembered what day it was.
I can't do it. Yeah.
They definitely got me on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel it's hard to tell sometimes. Is it just that just because of April Fools in general? Is it just not even a young person's? Is it just, am I jaded by just wanting to do my job and the world being as bad as it is that I don't need bad April Fool's Day jokes?
Or is it was that companies caught on to the fact that they could do April Fool's jokes, and with the internet and social media and all that stuff, more and more companies jumped in. And it's like when you have a meme that's funny the first day, and then by day 3, you start to see company accounts jumping in on the meme, and it's like, okay, well now it's not funny anymore. Yeah,
it's that thing, right, where like, and I worked there many years after. I worked there for many years after and participated in the April Fools, but I also just feel like it peaked with the Zelda trailer at IGN when they did the live action Zelda trailer and everybody thought it was real and it was like a huge deal. And then IGN always chased that high, even when I was there. And even that was like a little bit of like, all right, what do we, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, Optimus Prime and Titanfall. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I will say, like, the Playmo thing, like, I think this year's IGN's joke is good, but it's just that I'm tired.
Yeah.
And, you know, I blame the holiday more, the quote unquote holiday, more than I blame the lack of effort from IGN.
Oh, yeah. This isn't us not.
Although I love, like, here's the thing, right? Did they do other live action trailers for IGN?
Yes. We followed up when I was there, and I say we, like I had anything to do with it. I didn't. But Nick was the director on the Halo Bollywood shoot where they did a Halo live action. They did the whole thing with Halo Bollywood. That was one of them. That was live action. I think that might have been the only other live action one that jumps to my mind. But chat, keep me honest on that. I forget if I'm wrong about that.
Because my thing is, if they stuck to, hey, we're not even like we're not trying to trick people. It is just straight up every year we're just doing another fake live action trailer for a video game movie. I think that could just be a fun tradition. That said, now we're in the age where every video game is getting a live action movie. So it might just now be confusing if they did it. I don't know. But happy April Fool's Day, Greg.
Happy April Fool's Day, Bless.
Let's get into the actual real news. Because remember, if you're watching live, you can be a part of the show by super chatting in over on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Remember, we couldn't do this without our producers.
There was a Harry Potter Horrors trailer as well.
Harry Potter, what now?
Horrors. AURORS. This is like, why did this one fail? Because it was just like, who was that deep into Harry Potter bullshit? Nick was reading the goddamn Harry Potter. Like,
golly. Patreon.com is kind of funny. Shout out to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney the Psalm Twining. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 5 stories today.
A baker's dozen.
Starting with our number one. we got a Mario Galaxy review roundup.
I'm sure they're all great.
For the Mario Galaxy
I'm sure they're all
movie.
highfalutin good scores.
Right now, on Rotten Tomatoes, Mario Galaxy is sitting at a 44. Metacritic, the Mario Galaxy movie, is sitting at a 37. Let's start off with one from Clint Gage at IGN, who gave it a 6 out of 10 and says, the Super Mario Galaxy movie ditches an engaging story in favor of a pipe-bursting amount of Easter eggs, but that's not an altogether bad thing. I'll jump. I got like more reviews than usual for this review roundup because there's a lot of shit people have to say about this movie. Let's hop over to Owen Gleiberman at Variety, who gives it an unscored review, but says not a single one of these characters, including Mario and Luigi, occupies the center of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and that's because the movie has no center. Helen O'Hara at Empire gave it 2 out of 5 stars and says, the moments of fan service might keep the hardcore happy, but for everyone else over the age of 5, it's just a succession of loud, bright things happening without any real point. New York Times, I just took the headline from the New York Times review, where they just said, it's a meh.
That's really good.
Really good.
That's really good. I like that.
Kevin Mayer gave it a crazy one. All right. This is Kevin Mayer at the Times. They gave it 0 stars, which I didn't know was a possible thing. They titled their review, The Super Mario Galaxy Movie Review. Is this the end of cinema?
Wow.
It's a supremely vacuous anti-movie that climaxes with a sequence featuring full-screen Nintendo gameplay, as if to remind us of the levels of rancid commercial whoredom we've reached. The film is torturous to sit through, and for me, provoked periods of actual physical discomfort. I had to stab myself repeatedly in the hand with a pen to distract from the howling distress. It's that bad and that offensive. It was Hitchcock who said, always make the audience suffer as much as possible. I don't think he meant it like this.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but Kevin. Really, Kevin?
Let's swing back to a more positive direction. I'll close this one from Glenn Garner at Deadline, who says,
You're watching a movie, Kevin. You're watching a movie.
He was being tortured. He was in a torture chair.
Go play a game you hate for 80 hours on Deadline.
Glenn Garner at Deadline says, overall, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is a fun sequel full of nostalgic references, all-star voices, and epic animation, grounded by the father-son story of redemption for Bowser, aka Jack Black, and a sisterly origin story, Princess Peach. A sisterly origin story, Princess Peach, both of which pave the way for more video game adaptation fun. Greg?
Yes.
Is the movie as bad as they say?
No. Yeah, I mean, yes, no. I mean, I came home and shut the door, and Jen's like, how is the movie? And by the way, of course, tomorrow we return to In Review for Super Mario. You'll have myself, you'll have Blessing, you will have Tim, you will have Nick, you will have Andy. So there's full team there to go through and do our usual thing where we recap, rank it against the other Mario movies, et cetera, et cetera. You know, In Review. Please come watch, even though you're going to hear about me and Bless talk about it. Came home last night, or 2 nights ago, whatever it was, Monday night. Shut the door. Jen's like, how was the movie? And I'm like, I was like, listen, I remember leaving the original Mario movie and being like, that was a collection of scenes that happened back to back to back. There wasn't really a narrative to it that much. I mean, there is, but not really. It was colorful. I didn't stab myself in the hand with a pen, but it wasn't peak cinema or anything like that.
Yeah.
But the more I watched it, especially the more I watched it with Ben, I was like, this is more enjoyable than maybe I originally thought in the theaters. And I'm the exact same way with this one. Where I left that one and I was like, this was a collection of scenes. Did I nod off at the final battle? I did. I was very much like, all right, we're just doing a thing here. I think personally, I'm more of a Mushroom Kingdom, New York. I like that mashup more than we're in space and anything can happen, as I'm not the space person usually. Sometimes, I don't know if that still holds true. But like what I said, I was talking to another reviewer who were there who will remain nameless. And he was like, that was a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. And I'm like, listen, I said everything I just said. And I'm like, but here's all I know. Tim and Blessing are huge Mario fans, and they were talking about how much they enjoyed it. And I know how much my 4-year-old's going to enjoy it. Yeah. So Nintendo's pretty happy they hit the target market on this. 100%. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I got to sit on it for a while, right? In review, I think I'll be able to spill my full thing.
Sure. Yeah, you just let a little steam out of the kettle.
Yeah, letting a little steam out, right? Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm not mad at the bad reviews for it because I totally see where they're coming from. I think plot wise, character development wise, like there are so many better written animated movies. I look at like peak Pixar, I look at peak DreamWorks, I look at the Puss in Boots movie from a couple years ago, and I'm like, damn, this got me emotional. And these are all kids movies, right? I'm sure one of the pieces of defense that people will throw at the critics, right, is like, it's a kids movie. How seriously you want to take it and all that stuff. But there are great kids movies.
And that's my thing. Just to jump in, I want to let you keep going on.
But
like, as somebody who watches so many kids movies, the amount of times Jen and I walk to the kitchen crying over, and I always say, he doesn't know how good he has it. I remember when our movies and TV shows were just nonsense. Now they're actually amazing. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so like for people who are coming at it hard as for the story, I totally understand, and honestly, I agree. Even though I enjoy the movie, like my enjoyment of the movie comes purely for me as a Nintendo adult, right? Like I grew up on Mario. I am even for this thing as a hour and a half collection of random colorful scenes, right? I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, that's from this. Oh, that's from Mario 3. Oh, that's from
a lot of
Mario
member berries.
Odyssey.
A lot of member berries.
So many. The whole movie is member berries.
Yeah.
Like, then that's honestly
the amount of times, Chad, that Tim went, and I was like, oh, there's a song or something's happening that he recognized. I'm just like, Mario's doing things.
The biggest compliment and the biggest insult I can give to this movie is that the entire movie is member berries, which is bad if you're coming to this movie for an experience that is a moving plot or something that you're going to leave and be like, damn, there was substance in how they built Bowser's character. There was substance in how they built this relationship between Rosalina and other characters and all this stuff, right? No, like it was so much of that stuff is so paper thin, but I didn't leave that upset about it because,
if I was my
Mario
upset level about it would be that I think they flirted with it. As somebody who I enjoy playing Mario video games, but I'm never into the Mario story of the video games, right? Because we're not doing anything ever really with them, right? Mm-hmm. We get to, one of them calls out this Bowser Jr. thing, and then some of the stuff with Peach in there and some of her relationships, where I was like, oh, are they about to? Okay, no, they didn't even get to they didn't toe the line. They saw the line. We were close. We were in the same room as the line of doing something different, interesting. So it's like, oh, I would have rather seen them commit to this. I really would have rather them do that. But like, no, it's not on my list of grievances. It's just a movie.
One of the an argument that me and Tim have had before on the show, right, was talking about Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and how like one of the complaints people will give to reviews of those games that annoys me the most is they say if you remove the Zelda brand from these games would get reviewed way worse. And I'm like, y'all, the games themselves are good. Like I push against that. For this movie, for the Mario Galaxy movie, if you remove the anything that's like Mario brand, Mario IP from this movie, it's like
just a white screen.
It's just exactly. It's nothing. Like it's absolutely nothing. Like that's how thin some of the plot is here. And like I think that comes back to my biggest complaint about it is that like you're waving lights in front of me and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm Mario man, and so I love this shit, right?
Yeah.
But for anybody else, like there's way better kids movies out there.
100%. Yeah. And I think, like in terms of the plot being thin and all this stuff, I think I always love it when there's a movie that calls itself out for that, I feel like. But there's one line in this where when they show up with Yoshi and Toad's just like, oh, so now the dinosaur's part of the group? It's like, yup, that's all it took. We met Yoshi and now he's as thick as thieves with everybody. Like, all right, nobody's wondering about, okay, cool, he's just here. That's what
we'll talk about it more on the in review, but there's a certain character who has like this flip-flop character development of like, I'm on this side now I'm on this side, and I'm like, you guys aren't giving me any reason for why he feels this way this second and this way the next second, right? Like it does feel a little bit insulting at times, even to kids. That said, like 0 stars.
Let me jump in there, okay, if you don't mind. And I know you're hosting the show, so I hate to do this. But there's a super chat from Matthew Ponton who says, isn't it hypocritical to hate on the movie reviewers disliking the Mario movie while also defending games journalists that dislike Crimson Desert? And I think that is a straw man argument here, Matthew, where you're stripping out all of the context, where you're just saying, well, you said it was okay for games journalists not to like this, but you're mad at movie critics. In none of the reviews we read for Crimson Desert did Jeff Grubb say, I had to stab myself repeatedly in the hand with a pen to distract from the howling distress. I never saw anyone say that.
Yeah.
It might have been like, yeah, I didn't like playing this. Oh my God, it was annoying. No one's talking about stabbing themselves to focus on their job for 90 minutes.
The last time I've heard something like this was, funnily enough, from someone else named Kevin, who broke out in hives because of how much he hated The Last Jedi. That's the last time I've heard someone have an extreme reaction to a movie. And it's like,
And
all right, come on, man.
I got two things here, right? One, I don't think we're hating on anybody. Maybe the closest we're getting to hating on somebody is like the 0 stars. But
I called out Kevin by name. I did say Kevin.
Yeah, but I'm not even. I'm not starting my hating on that yet, because like my hating on that is that I have a friend named Lexi. And every year, Lexi likes to put on a movie marathon, and the movie marathon is always with bad movies. And so the last one she did, she put together 4 really bad animated movies. And when I tell you, that's I can't remember the name of it. There was some movie, chat, somebody's gonna know it, where all the characters are based off of like brands that you find at the supermarket, and it was a movie that like struggled to get made. The animation fucking terrible, right? It eventually came out. Animation's terrible. The characters nonsensical. Story weird, right? That's a 1-star movie, right? There are 0-star movies out there. Mario Galaxy is not one of them.
Yeah,
and that's the extent of like quote unquote hate I'll give. That's the other thing is, to your point, Matthew Ponton, right? Like I don't think the hypocrisy comes into play, because I don't think any of us would say, hey, you have to agree with every reviewer out there. You know what I mean? Like, I've read Crimson Desert reviews that I disagree with, and I would talk about those, right? But I'm not over here being like, damn, Paul Tassi sucks. He has a different opinion. Like, no, he's allowed to people are allowed to have different opinions on things. Yes, Food Fight. Thank you,
Jesus
Barrett.
Christ, that's a real movie?
Food Fight is an actual movie that my friend Lexi forced us to watch.
Lexi, no.
And when I tell you, this shit was a legendary.
Oh, they had the Sunkissed Tuna guy and the Vlastix Pickle guy?
Hillary Duff was in this?
Eva Longoria? I want to watch it now.
Legendarily bad movie. I'd recommend it. It's a fun bad watch. Your eyes will start to hurt.
When did it come out? It
2010, I want to say.
Damn.
09.
Can we watch the trailer or will we get clipped for it?
Yeah, we will.
Damn.
We will get
that
clapped
sucks.
for it, yeah.
But like,
yeah, again, like I just don't. Hypocritical to hate on. It's like, well, no. Again, every review and opinion is a persuasive essay, and I don't think, granted, the paragraph I've read here, Kevin's backing it up enough that he just stabbed himself in the hand to keep watching the movie.
One Blue Sky put up yesterday as the movie reviews were coming out was that movie reviews will really remind you how nice video game reviews are. It was kind of refreshing reading a bunch of reviews coming in that it's like, damn, y'all all hated this movie that I totally thought was just fine.
Yeah.
And like, it had me being like, man, we got to explore the scale more, because motherfuckers are giving this thing fucking 3 out of 10. You know what I mean?
There was a 0.
I've never seen a 0 before in my life. Like, if anything, video game reviewers need to get meaner. Like, that's what I come out of this thing feeling like. You know what I mean?
You want to know? I think so much of that comes back to is that the difference in the product and what you're doing.
Sure.
Again, I've said this, I think, recently on Greg Waves. Oh, I'm sorry if I said it here, of like, I had a conversation around the Oscars with Jen. I'm just like, can you imagine how nice it would be to be like, all right, well, this weekend we're going to play all the Game of the Year's candidates. You know what I mean? Like, you can sit there and legitimately watch all the Oscar films in a 3-day period, right? Like,
yeah.
Granted, that's a lot of movies, but again, it's doable in a way. Just these aren't. And so my personal interpretation on this is somebody who, granted, professionally reviews video games, but, you know, right in amateur level, right? You know, I'm my capstone for college. I had already done my journalism degree. My last class was working at the magazine insert in the newspaper, and I reviewed movies there, right? And so it was this idea of like, I feel like movies, and this is not an insult to their work at all, are so, for the writer to a degree, disposable. And if that's too negative, you get so many more at-bats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could legitimately, if you were working as a full-time movie reviewer online or anywhere, right? Watch a movie that night, do the review during the day, watch a movie that night. You got 5 pieces in a week versus video game reviewing. That's probably, hopefully, if you're doing 5 days of gaming, maybe 2 games to play, depending how big they are, this, that, the other. Mm-hmm. Where I think when you're invested in something so long, it's easier to be like, well, I want to give credit for this. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I didn't like Crimson Desert's story, but the combat is there. I found the fun by finding the open world. Whereas you can go for 90 minutes and be like, I fucking hated this, and here's all the bile and hate I have for it that I'm going to put out, and I'm going to move on to the next thing and review something
100%.
next day.
Yeah, and I think it comes. I know we've talked about this before, right? One of the replies to the BS that's a Blue Sky Tim that I got from the post is people saying that like, yeah, like movie reviews will explore the 1 through 10 scale, but like a lot of video game reviews feel like they're exploring the 5 through 10. And one of the added things to that is just the fact that there's so many video games and they're so long, and we have to pick and choose based off of what do people care about the most. Turns out that the things that people care about are probably going to be the better games that are out there.
We talk about the investments right from publishers, where the games that are going to be put out by Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, right, are generally going to be hopefully in that 5 to 10 range.
And even like the third parties or indies, right? The ones that like y'all care about a mixtape. Y'all care about a why is Pepper Grinder is in my brain. I think we talked about it.
They didn't really care about it, but yeah.
You might care a little bit about a Pepper Grinder. But even then, it's like there are so many 1s out of 10s, 2 out of 10s, 3 out of 10s out there. We never bring them up because they just like one. Marketability is not as easy for those games, right? Like those games don't show up in a state of play. It's harder to like surface those games, and why would we want to even surface those games? And then also like we can't headline a thing that's we can't headline an episode of Gamescast that is us reviewing a 3 out of 10 game that you've never heard of. If you've heard of it,
again, you'd be back to the fact of the time commitment as well, right? Where it is that idea that I'm sure the Steam store is littered with 1 out of 10s, but it's that idea of to do that we have to suspend playing the game you really care about to get to it to then make a piece of content nobody cares.
Our time
about.
Is limited, is what.
And
it
then
comes
you're
down
back to the argument, right, of the benefit of a newspaper or a .com that is all about movies, right? Where you can put in the thing that isn't the headline grabber, that doesn't need the attention that is going to be there, right? That somebody who is, think of, when back in the day when even you'd buy an EGM, EGM and the review crew can review so many things. Now, granted, far fewer games, but they could review so many things. They had multiple opinions. They could give you that, hey, I played 8 hours of this and it fucking sucked, and here's my 2.5 out of 10 out of this, and move on.
Yeah. What's up, Barrett?
I was bouncing off of your points, Blessing, of just like how rare it is for big games to pop through that have that kind of marketing buzz that comes out, and we're all just collectively like, what the fuck was this? And one of those games, not to get too ahead of it, is our story number 2.
Ooh.
Before trying to transition you, he's trying to fucking host the show.
I know, right?
Barrett, you push the fucking button.
Spaces.
All right? Nice shirt, though.
But yeah, real quick.
I'll push the button to make Bless transition right now. I got it. Secretly.
But I want to shout out, like, one of my favorite reviews I've done recently was for Romeo's a Dead Man, which I gave a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah. And that's a rare game that I get to give. Like, I was excited to give a score that low, even though, like, I enjoyed the game, but I'm playing and I'm like, no, this is not a good. I forget what 5 is on our scale, but this is mediocre. This is mad, whatever it is, right? Like, this does not live up to me being able to say this is a good game. And it was fun to explore the scale, but also, like, that's a game I had to make time for, even with the idea of like, hey, nobody might care about this game, but I care. And so I get to put in the time to play this. But yeah, it's harder to find time in our schedules to like get into the bag that deep to play something that might score that low. Yeah,
100%. And that's your own enjoyment too, right? We work at such a different company than a major .com, if those still exist, where you're given an assignment and this is your assignment to go do.
Yeah.
It can be that you walk in like, we put that on the calendar for next week, but I don't like that. I'm not going to play it. Okay, cool. It's not worth a review. Okay, cool. Strike it. We'll put something else.
Exactly. Let's talk about a game that probably would have came in at under a 5 out of 10. Story number 2, new Mindseye mission will reveal evidence the game was sabotaged. Claims CEO. I'm reading from Rebecca Valentine at IGN.
Kind of Funny Games Daily Award winner.
Builder Rocket Boy CEO Mark Gerhard says that the studio is preparing to add a new mission to its game, Mindseye, which will include evidence supporting his repeated claims that the game was sabotaged by bad actors. Speaking to GamesBeat, Gerhard claims that the new mission will be called Blacklist and will feature a female playable character. Quote, "We're also using that to share some of the evidence of the sabotage with the community." He did not provide further information as to what this would entail. However, he previously told Insider Gaming that the studio was also planning to use the names of people who had committed the alleged sabotage in the new mission. Quote, "And let's have some fun with it," he said at the time. "Let's tell the community the story before it even plays out in court. So, I think this is not us being the victim. We've taken a couple of punches, we've kept turning the other cheek while we got our house in order, and now it's time to start doing this right back at them. And you know? So let's have some fun with it. At the end of the day, we're storytellers. We're game makers. End quote. The sabotage Gerhard is referring to is his claims over the last year that there was a concerted effort to trash the game studio, or the game and the studio, by both internal and external saboteurs. He claims that the saboteurs paid off influencers or paid for spam bots to denigrate the game on social platforms. Gerhard has yet to provide evidence to back up these claims, and former publisher IO Interactive has denied their merit. In the same GamesBeat interview, Gerhard said that authorities in both the US and UK were investigating what he believes to be criminal corporate espionage.
Yes.
Gerhard does admit that the game launched in a messy state with numerous bugs and crashes.
Fair.
He tells GamesBeat that these issues are on us and that the team is continuing to invest in the game and improve it. Greg, are you looking forward to this DLC? See what you got to say?
No fucking joke. I am there day one.
Yeah?
When they're like, we are dropping it, that's a stream. I want to see this fucking incoming cease and desist court order that they will be getting as they air the fucking thing. Where the mission's going to be stealing the fucking things from Build a Rocket Boy. Like, what are we doing? That sounds insane. Yes, let's go.
And using like the actual names of people? Like, what are you doing?
Do it, man. Tell your story.
You're asking to get all of your money taken from you, man.
The court won't have anything to say about this. You know, we want to give it to the people before we talk about it in court.
I love that.
It's fucking insane. I love the idea, too, that they're saying that, like, oh, yeah, social media influencers were paid to say bad things about the thing. But then later on, he goes on to say, like, oh, yeah, the game launched in a messy state. That's on us. Brother, which is it?
Hey. There was corporate espionage going on, all right? And we're going to get to the bottom of it in the DLC for the game.
They got into the Game Plus and last minute changed the entire game to be so boring. And that's how they did espionage.
I was going to say, what do you think he means by corporate espionage? Because that implies that, like, they bugged them or something.
Yeah, they have, somebody on the inside. There's an inside person. That's what I got to imagine that's what this mission is, right? The new mission will be called Blacklist and feature a female playable character.
Which I got questions on.
Share some of this evidence of sabotage with the community. He did not provide further information with this detail. However, he promised the studio's plan to use the names of people who committed the alleged sabotage in the new mission. Let's have some fun with it. Like, you've got to be playing as the role of the woman who in real life 100%. Found this information, right? Yes. And so you're going to go through and find that person X was the one emailing corporation Y all of your secrets and all these different things to screw over the game. And then this is your chance to alternate reality, stop it, and bring justice to them. I love it.
That seems fucking nuts.
It does.
This seems like something that's going to blow back on them so strongly.
It's one of those where, Mindseye was such is this game real? What is it? Okay, it's just vaporware. Then it came out. It didn't do this. The IO Interactive publishing drama. Then saying, we're no longer doing this. You can take the rights back. Mm-hmm. And then this, and just Mark, like, at every point where Build a Rocket Boy CEO Mark Gerhard can act like he's not crazy. He doubles down on being crazy, and it's working for me. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have these kind of people anymore in the industry. All right,
we really don't.
Everybody's hiding behind a corporation for their stockholders. Right here, Mark is out here being like, I'm going to take these motherfuckers to task. And I don't know, but I love it, Mark. I love what I'm seeing out of you right now, and I'm playing this day one.
All the crazy corporate people, I feel like, have to be crazy behind closed doors now. You're right. It is rare that we get somebody who's outwardly crazy.
He's just saying it.
I'm gonna make a DLC.
I think the second number two, the close number two, is Randy Pitchford.
Oh, Randy Pitchford.
Well, yeah, but he's a different kind of unhinged. Like, this is again, like, Mark is talking like he's the former CEO of Build a Rocket Boy. This is the kind of shit you usually see people tweeting in the middle of the night. But I've been out of the industry for 5 years. Mark's like, no. I believe in my vision for this game. We got fucked, and I'm going to take people down with it. I'm like, inside the game. Fuck yeah, I'm down, Mark.
Whoever the main...
Mark, come let us do the exclusive stream of it. When is the mission ready? I want to play.
Whoever the lady is that the protagonist is based off of.
What if it's like, what if we're wrong and instead it's like totally like her name's Liberty Justice.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Liberty Justice is hilarious, but also like I
at
have
the end, like, social, I never got your last name. It's Justice. Social justice.
That's actually a good one because my thing is I don't get the vibe that they're like, yo, we want to add in more diversity into the game, so we're gonna have a female playable protagonist. To me,
They're saying something.
My immediate read is like, oh, you feel wronged by some woman, and you are.
But no,
starring
she's got to be the hero, right?
Well, see, I'm.
You think we're playing as the bad guys?
Yes. I think we're breaking into a place that is a stand-in for Build a Rocket Boy, and we're stealing things.
And we're gonna head back
And
to our
sabotaging
base
them.
called Stone Hero. I don't know what's another word for Rockstar.
See, you lost me. Yeah, I'm back on it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
did
yeah.
they imply that Rockstar is the one in
I
sabotaging
thought
them?
he
wasn't
did
it
it
there?
some
Because
point like a
if I'm
year
wrong-
ago.
Yes, I remember this now.
Because Rockstar really scared by this game.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Rockstar was terrified by Mindseye.
I lost the chat, but someone did bring up a great point. How far into the game do we have to get to play that mission?
Silver
is
J
the
Hawkins
question.
super chatted in and says, "Can you reach the DLC before the 2-hour mark on stream?" Like, yeah, how far do we have to get into this game? I hope it's on the main menu.
Just to bring it all up here, I'm going to instantgaming.com, who's got the summation of what was going on with that Rockstar thing, okay? During the first mixed previews for Mindseye, Build a Rocket Boy felt that someone had paid these critics to give a negative review of the game. Without saying so, the studio accused Rockstar Games of corruption. IGN interviewed Hakan Abrak, CEO of IO Interactive, the publisher that distributes Mindseye, and he countered the studio's claim, stating that no one paid for negative reviews. Quote, I don't believe it. I just think the game should speak for itself on June 10th. And it's fair to say it has spoken for itself, plagued by bugs, yada, yada, yada. So that was to bring back the Rockstar part of it from these former Rockstar people. Yes, that was the idea. So So now I'm going to be, okay. So I'm the person coming in to get the information for Rockstar.
You're the saboteur.
You're the saboteur for sure.
Mark, I fucking love it. I love it.
You're going to jail if you do that, though. Like, maybe not jail, but you're going to get fined.
Yeah, but
like,
what do they have to
person's
lose
based off of-
anymore? You know what I mean?
Because here's the thing, right? They said they're using real names. So, like, you can't do that, right? If this is based off a real person and you call, let's say her name is
Leslie, I've got the thing you wanted. Bringing it over.
my name is Jessica Smith or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you're Jessica Smith and it's like, oh, that's me, you're playing as me, certainly you're going to get a lot of money.
But I think what it would be, personally, my thoughts would be, it's going to be more, the evidence is going to be documentation. I think of it in the Bethesda, I'm finding a note. Right, I'm getting a data file, I'm hacking a terminal, and I'm seeing literally emails that whoever Mark thinks wronged them sent to Mark or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we're publishing our evidence in the game that you're stealing and getting.
Can you imagine being the game designer and Mark Gerhard comes in and he's like, "Hey, this is what I need," like, and you're the one you're an artist or a character designer. It's like, all right, I guess I'll make your Vendetta DLC. Like, I'm gonna make these real people. Like, that's a crazy position to be in as a designer.
Yeah, but you know it. You crack that beer and you say, let's go. Let's do it. Let's get messy.
Going under anyway.
Listen, it's the year of our Lord 2026. Aren't we sick of seeing video game drama play out the same way all the time? We're getting something brand new in the industry where we're taking the fucking shit to the game.
Mindseye really innovating the industry here.
No jokes. I am going to be watching this with bated breath.
I can't stress this enough because, like, for the last two stories, people have been asking about both of them being April Fool's joke. This came in yesterday. I'm like 90% sure this is not an April Fool's joke.
No. This is Rep Valentine. She wouldn't do that.
And then, this is I from IGN. And then the zero star review from Variety that popped at embargo of the Mario Galaxy review. That's not an April Fool's joke either. These are real, guys. That's just how crazy the video games industry is.
That's so cool.
That's so
cool. Because it's just like, I'm reading from the IGN article, right? Back to Mark here, right? Quote, we've got strong evidence of this and conducted quite thorough investigations over the months since launch. We've identified parties involved, and now it's with the authorities, both UK and US, to deal with. I can confirm that they're assisting us with this investigation, but it's also in their hands now. We'll leave them to do what they do, make their arrests or any announcements in due course. I think we're not saying anything further at this stage on that. We'll just let the natural course of justice take its path, end quote. But we'll also put the evidence in the game.
We're going to do
you know
it
what I mean? Go get him. Go get him, Bill the Rocket Boy.
This is so fun.
It's like one of those things of just like it again. I have been wrong. Yeah, we don't believe you. I'm going to put the receipts in the fucking game. You're going to believe it then? When you're reading the goddamn emails from Rockstar, being like, fucking sink them.
That's a level of spite that I aspire to, man. Because, like, how many people are going to play the DLC?
One. I'm in.
Like, the idea, the concept of Mindseye DLC alone is fucking insane when you think about it. But you're putting it in there for somebody. Like, you're putting it in there for some reason, I should say. And that reason is purely just spite. And rage.
Just spite.
Because how much are you going to sell off the DLC? How much you charging for the DLC?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is anybody buying Mindseye DLC?
Maybe this is what turns it around. You know what I mean?
I might buy Mindseye DLC.
Yeah, right?
If this is actually what it is.
Go get him, Mark.
We got a lot of super chats to read.
Okay.
But before we get there, I want to tell you about patreon.com/kindafunny and youtube.com/kindafunnygames, where you can go and get the Kinda Funny membership, which allows you to get shows ad-free. And speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
You finally sit down to game. Just you, your controller, and zero responsibilities. When your brain decides that's the perfect time to say, what if I'm secretly a terrible person and everyone can see it but me? And suddenly, relaxing and enjoying yourself is impossible. Instead, your brain grabs onto that thought and will not let it go. Here's the thing. That kind of relentless thought spiral isn't just anxiety. It could also be OCD, a condition that's way too misunderstood and way more common than most people realize. But it doesn't have to be that way. OCD needs ERP, or exposure and response prevention, which is proven to be the most effective treatment, and that's where NoCD comes in. NoCD is the world's leading provider of OCD treatment, and it's covered by insurance for over 138 million Americans. All of their licensed therapists specialize in ERP therapy and will help you learn to take the power away from the intrusive thoughts in live, face-to-face virtual sessions. If unwanted thoughts are taking over, don't wait to get help. Visit nocd.com and book a free call with their team. That's nocd.com.
And we're back. Bear, you said you got something for me.
Yeah, you remember the horrors of the mega evolution or what have you for Starmie?
Oh,
Long Starmie.
It stands upright.
Yeah.
Did not like that.
Nintendo is streaming a 10-hour looped video of Long Starmie running at you. So there you go.
Oh.
That's a good April Fool's bit right there.
That is a good April Fool's bit, but I also don't like it.
It's in my library.
Oh, shit.
Mindseye, I'm ready. Whenever you're ready, Mark, I'm ready.
Let's hop into some super chats. You guys have a lot to say between this and the previous story, so let's get in there. Silver J Hawkins writes in and says, I truly want to see this play out as if they're completely, totally fake and a joke, or it turns into a self-report on the guy making the claim. Yeah, I'm so fascinated by what the conversation is going to be in court when these inevitably get brought up of like, so what's up with these real names and these real people that you put into the game?
This is just how it is.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there can't be two Jessica Smiths. And it's like, well, you're suing one of them, so...
But hey, those are public documents,
Public documents. Shortchanged Hero writes in and says, this is either pure drama or it's the most insanely smart strategy because it's going to spike in sales and in player count. But, like, will it? Because, like, maybe for me and Greg and for, like, a handful of people that are watching the show that are also similarly morbidly curious about what's going on. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to be like, yeah, we're going to risk legal trouble in order to sell some DLC.
I mean, like, it's one of those, what do you got to lose?
I think a lot.
I mean, but
more money.
We don't know anything. We know Mindseye did not launch well. I can't imagine it sold well.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine it made a lot of money.
No.
I can't imagine the studio and company are in good shape. So what's going to happen? We're going to put this out, at least get the goodwill of like, see, we were fucked over. And then you get sued into oblivion and you file for bankruptcy and the thing that was already on the ropes is dead.
And so, like, does it end up just being a thing for, like, the business taking off? Because I guess I think about Mark Gerhardt, the person, of, like, your personal...
Now you're getting into, libel, right? Of, like, what he's going to say and what's going on. So that's a different thing of how you're using it inside the game.
Sure.
And that's where we get into a hinky, we need an actual legal expert on here. How do we figure that out?
What's this, Barrett?
That's what I mentioned.
Yeah.
Oh, they ended their... I didn't realize they ended their Hitman collab.
Oh, yeah.
And IO got out.
Yeah, so...
I'm shocked they're ever in. That was such a weird... We got to look back at that sometime and be like, what happened here?
Yeah.
Because it was immediately weird when they said IO Interactive is publishing Mindseye.
They had a really good snake oil salesman.
That was like a bizarre
before everybody
time.
got the corporate espionage, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Aaron Lime writes in and says, there hasn't been something this meta since Kojima and Ground Zeroes and the fallout with the former Konami CEO. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Cartel Dell writes in and says, have we ever seen anything this as meta as this before? I mean, I guess the Kojima thing that we just read about. Mr. Hawks writes in and says, as someone who platinumed Mindseye and knows how bad it actually is, I cannot wait for this DLC. It's going to be bad, and I'm so excited.
This is going to set things right.
With who? How?
People were talking about, No Man's Sky 2.0, Cyberpunk 2.0, Cyberpunk 2.0, or Starfield 2.0, Mindseye 2.0.
Oh, shit.
This will be the one that we all come
Mindseye.
back and like, hey, man, this game came a long way.
How's it going? I'm Cohen writes in and says, we need Mike and Nick to investigate this Mindseye DLC. Listen, I don't know if Nick... Well, I was going to say, I don't know if Nick will have the context to like...
No, he has no context.
Well, they streamed
like
the
you would
first 2
appreciate it,
hours. Yeah, that was the whole thing where they played the first 2 hours on stream, but just under 2 hours enough
So
that they could still refund it on Steam.
I see. This is transitioning back into our reviews conversation when it comes to the Mario Galaxy movie. Kyle LaBeouf writes in and says, reviews have become too closely tied to the marketing cycle of games and movies. This makes it difficult to differentiate between hype and opinion. Throw clickbait on top, and it makes it super messy. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like critical reviews, if you're doing it right, should not be tied to hype whatsoever, right? They should just be tied to, how is this thing? What is my critical opinion of this thing, right? You put it out there.
But that can't come in with it didn't live up to expectations. It did live up to expectations.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? Of like, oh, I'm super underwhelmed by this thing.
I assume Kyle's leading into, though, and I don't mean this nefariously, but leaning into embargoes all lifting at the same time pre-orders go live. You know what I mean? Or like riding that wave of the game image, the movie image with all the stars and all the things and the 5 out of 5s and 10 out of 10s, I guess.
Sure. Aaron Lime says, nobody's clicking on a review for Tentacle Grope 3 or NFT Clicker 7 on Steam. That's a 2 out of 10. Games are more of an investment time than 2 hours max.
Yeah.
And yeah, that echoes what we say, right? Like, I'm not going to play, what was it, Tentacle Grope 3 just so I can give a 2 out of 10 score and be like, cool, there was 5 hours of my life that I spent devoted to this thing. It's like, no, I'm going to play Super Meat Boy 3D. And then get really mad about it on
God,
stream.
you were so mad.
I've never been. Oh my God, I was so mad.
You were so mad on that stream. I could hear it in the other room.
I don't like being fucked with. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Well,
and Roger and Mike like fucking with me. They like fucking with people.
But also like, it really came downhill for you when you were stuck on that first boss for a good 10 minutes at least.
Yeah.
So I would say it's like they were just icing on the cake. And the cake was just,
But it was the thing where I told Roger before the thing, I was like, hey, are you sure it should be me on the stream? Because Mike has beaten the game. I've not beaten the game. I think Barrett should probably take my spot, right? Because Barrett's beaten the game. And Roger looks at me. He says, but you're a draw. You're a draw.
And again, whenever he says something like that, when you bring up a good point, 100% of the time, that is them trying to distract from the fact that Mike doesn't want real competition.
Like, just a fair fight is all I ask for.
No.
And they won't give it to me.
Not for Mike.
It was scary. Because you kept saying, like, don't fuck with me.
Oh, I kept threatening to choke Roger, yeah. I feel like ever since we had the HR meeting,
the physical violence talk is way up.
This company has gotten more violent with their threats.
Yeah. Watch that Super Meat Boy race, by the way. It was really fun.
Oh, yeah. Techie Haas writes in and says, just wanted to shout out my country's soccer team for qualifying for the World Cup after a 40-year wait. Let's go, Iraq. We needed this. Hell yeah. That's super cool. I was at a concert last night.
Yeah.
A rapper named Dave. He's he's like a UK rapper, right, from London.
Sure.
I've never seen so many soccer jerseys.
Oh, yeah?
In one location. I went in, I was like, damn, if I got the memo, I would have wore my Chelsea jersey. Like,
Yeah.
And so, shout out soccer. Nightlife 2025 brings one in and says, The Guardian says Super Mario Brothers Galaxy is worse than AI. I saw that one making the rounds as well.
I didn't see that one, yeah.
That one is like, again, I feel like I'm not trying to hate on reviews. I'm going to hate on that review. That one is a bit much. I wouldn't.
But I could see the angle. And I would love to read it. Is like something this hollow was actually spent time on by people, whereas AI, which is a hollow piece of art, it is no time and made by robots. So we expect that of AI. But like this, I could see that. I could see that.
And I did read more of the review. I didn't just read the headline, right? I actually went in and I read more of it. And like that is the angle that I think they were aiming at, which is to say like, in a world where AI is doing this, like how are we having humans make a thing that feels soulless. Like it's spitting out? It feels soulless. So I get that, but saying it's worse than AI, for me, it's just that I've seen the movie and I'm like, all right, guys, AI couldn't even dream to make Mario.
Yeah, you know, I felt after that embargo for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It's like, what movies you people watch?
Yeah. Let's hop into story number 3. Stellar Blade developer Shift Up acquires Shinji Mikami's new studio. This is Sophie McAvoy at gamesindustry.biz. South Korean developer Shift Up has acquired Unbound, a new studio founded by industry veteran Shinji Mikami. Shift Up said the acquisition will strengthen its global PC and console publishing capabilities with Unbound's upcoming titles. In an announcement video, Mikami shared that Unbound is developing a fairly large game and aims to create a masterpiece. Quote, "I've come to see my vision and ideals more clearly, and I don't think I've ever been in a situation where, as a creator, our wavelengths and direction align this closely," said Mikami. Quote, "So, for as long as my career continues, I'd like to keep working together. For the first time in a while, I'll be fully involved on site to work on a fairly large game, and I'm looking forward to it. To all the gamers waiting for this, I hope you can wait a little longer for its release," end quote. As part of the acquisition, Shift Up will publish Unbound's upcoming titles and support the studio in building its own global service capabilities. Quote, "I find it deeply meaningful to join forces with Unbound, which brings together a world-class development team led by Shinji Mikami," said Shift Up CEO Young-tae Kim. Quote, "This acquisition will serve as an opportunity to deliver the best gaming experience to users worldwide and further solidify Shift Up's global development competitiveness," end quote. Mikami added, quote, "I am very pleased to be partnering with Kim and all the employees. I sense strong synergy with Kim, who is also an active creator, and I believe this is an ideal partnership that allows us to focus on creativity. We'll do our best to create fun games so that both companies working as one can meet our fans' expectations," end quote. Reports of Mikami forming a new studio began circulating last month, although Unbound's website had been live for some time. The developer was founded in 2022 and began operations in 2023. Mikami also established another studio, Kamoi, in 2024 after leaving Tango Gameworks in February 2023. Really interesting one.
Yeah.
To sum it up, the Stellar Blade developer has acquired Shinji Mikami's new studio. Shinji Mikami, of course, formerly of Tango Gameworks, made Hi-Fi Rush, but then if you're stretching back, right, creator of Resident Evil. Evil Within, Resident Evil 4. There's another major Capcom game, Dino Crisis, I think he did as well.
Dino Crisis, yeah.
DMC at all?
What'd you say?
Did he work on DMC at all?
Oh, DMC.
He's listed as executive producer on Devil May Cry.
I heard Deep Sea, and I was like, "What's Deep Sea?" Did he work on Echo the Dolphin? It's crazy. Interesting stuff.
Yeah,
cool. I mean, the way they're talking about it, it sounds like a beneficial thing for both parties. And we talk about how hard it is to be a developer and like be an independent developer and do all this stuff yourself, right? So if you can find another studio that is willing to take on that stuff for you, hell yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the biggest takeaway from it. You know, obviously, we'll wait and see how this all plays out. Obviously, acquisitions get a bad rap a lot of times.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this is one that's more in line with what they expect out of each other, right? In terms of what he's looking for as with a publisher, what a publisher is looking for as a creative. And that's, I think, more than anything, what's good about this is that so many independent studios come around and then flare out before they ever get to that first game. So, or, you know, their big game or whatever. So to have Unbound be created, have it immediately snapped up, have this level of talent with it, you hope for the best.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, like I say the hell yeah to it mainly because this isn't like a PlayStation acquires a new developer or like Microsoft or Embracer acquires a thing, right? It's we're adopting you into a bigger corporation.
Yeah.
Shift Up, you know, I don't know the size of Shift Up, but presumably very much smaller than a PlayStation or like a big corporation. This seems like it's a, hey, I fuck with you, y'all fuck with us, like, let's do work together and hopefully make something special. And I hope, fingers crossed, that happens because I like Stellar Blade and Shinji Mikami.
Yeah.
Legendary developer. Story number 4. U.S. Patent Office revokes Nintendo's patent on summoning characters to make them battle.
Yay.
This is Chris Scullion at VGC. The United States Patent and Trade Office, aka the USPTO, has revoked a patent it granted Nintendo last year, based on a gameplay mechanic used in other games. Last September, Nintendo was granted a U.S. patent which covered the action of summoning another character and making them battle on the player's behalf. 2 months later, USPTO Director John A. Squires personally ordered a re-examination of the patent, the first time since 2012 that a USPTO director had personally done so without another company officially getting involved, citing previous patents which might have made it invalid. Now, as reported by GamesFray, the USPTO has decided to reject all 26 claims made in the patent, meaning it has now been revoked. This is a non-final decision. Nintendo now has 2 months to respond or longer if it asks for an extension, and there can be an appeal made to the federal circuit if it doesn't agree with the decision. I know oftentimes you do required reading. I'm putting in an optional reading. You don't have to read it, but you can if you're more interested. Go to the Video Games Chronicle article because it goes way longer, talking about some of the details of the other patents that got in the way of this patent and why John A. Squires?
Yep.
Yeah. I nailed it. John A. Squires wanted the re-examination of it because it basically conflicted and he's like, these two things can't coexist in the way.
Got it.
So VGC is where you can find more of that. But yeah, hell yeah for patents.
Yeah, when this one got announced, we were all like, that's a really dumb patent to give out, and it's way too broad, and we understand you want to protect Pokemon because people like Pal World keep ripping off Pokemon, but there's got to be a better way than this. Again, would Nintendo wield it like a scalpel, or would they wield it like a gigantic, swinging sword and taking everybody? You can't work. You can't have one without the other. Both.
Yeah.
Once you open that door, you can't close it, and it doesn't even matter what they would do in the short term with it versus the long term with it. So,
Yep.
I thought it sounded like bunk before, and I'm glad they're re-examining and dialing it back.
Yeah. Greg, this revocation, that's a word, right?
Sure.
Yeah, this revocation of this patent, that's a big deal.
It is. It's a big word.
It's a big word for Elmo. But if I wanted something smaller, say the tiniest news I need to know about, where would I go?
You go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we tell you all the tiny news items you need to know about.
Story number 5, Wii News. Is it Raccoon?
Yeah, like
Raccoon.
raccoon. Yeah.
Oh.
If you're a raccoon in it, yeah, raccoon.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Raccoon has already sold over 100,000 copies.
You can get Lucy James's preview on the Kind of Funny Games cast from Monday.
I have a feeling it's going to sell a lot more.
I agree. I mean, that's going to be one that gains ground as it goes.
Yeah, that feels like it's going to have that viral, people telling everybody else, and by this time in 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about 1 million or something.
Yeah.
I think it'll have a slower build than Balatro, but I think
course.
it's going to have a similar type of people getting more and more addicted to it.
Yeah.
Especially, I think it was the big man, Jordan Mendler, who said once it's on mobile, it's over.
Game over.
Have they announced it for mobile?
No.
Okay.
But it's
it'll
one
be
of those that
It can probably work on mobile. Pokemon Home is getting Pokemon Legends ZA integration April 2nd.
There you go. Now you're all set.
Yeah.
Pokemon Champions right around the corner. Start bringing them over.
Give me Leaf Green though. You know what I mean?
I know.
Let's get us there. PlayStation Plus Essential games for April have been announced. You're getting Lords of the Fallen, Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered, and Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream. Crimson Desert has sold over 4 million copies.
Nice try, Roger.
Come on, Raj.
Idiot.
Can't wait for that pizza. We have 2 games that have gone gold. Saros and Pragmata both gone gold.
Pragmatic.
I'm never going to be used to Pragmata.
We stigmata. We said it for so long. We just, doesn't way.
Super exciting.
I am Jesus Christ soon.
Minos is how I'm going to pronounce this. Minos launches April 9th. This is one that I saw this trailer and I'm kind of excited for this one.
Oh, yeah?
It's a maze building roguelite where you, the fabled Minotaur, must defend your sanctuary from bloodthirsty adventurers. So here it looks like you're building a maze and building a bunch of traps to not let adventurers get through the maze. Seems super cool, seems super fun. And it's from Devolver Digital as well. So, they put out bangers.
They got the quality they're looking for out there.
Yeah, Minos. Table Flip Simulator launches May 21st for PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. And then, finally, Pragmata is a Mega Man game. This comes directly from a tweet. If I can open up the website can a little quicker. Actually, I got the thing here. This comes from @Pragmata Game, where they tweeted out, Pragmata is a Mega Man game. April Fools, hashtag Pragmata Moonbites Part 6, which I don't know what that is, but they posted a video of the guy from Pragmata in a Mega Man outfit.
I believe his name's Hugh. How long until we're getting that outfit in the game?
Oh, so quick.
Yeah, you think
So
that's
quick.
is that at launch? Is that DLC? Is that a special unlock? Because I remember playing Dead Rising, right? And it was always so fun to go get the Mega Man stuff and run around to that. And clearly, if you've gone to that looks pretty great. That looks really great. It's got a movable faceplate. That's a real costume, I would assume. So how are we getting that in game?
I'm gonna say it's either we got two options. It either
New
happens.
Game Plus?
Either happens. Well, New Game Plus is my secret third option. Either happens within the first week, or it happens next April Fools. They give an update.
Okay.
2027 April Fools, and they're like, "Oh, that last April Fools joke."
Late? That's crazy.
I feel like that always happens, where like video game companies will do an April Fool's joke, realize that people want the thing, and it'll take them a year.
I just think it looks too good. Like that looks like
obviously
Like
they
they
had
actually
already
spent
done.
time on it.
yeah. Look at the texture there on the padding on the front of the helmet.
Yeah.
But for sure, we're gonna be using that at some point.
Also, never stop with the kids' drawings. They're so fucking funny every time.
I can't wait. I'm feeding for this game a little bit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We like everything we've played from it. I'm ready to try a deep dive with it.
Do you think? Well, that is it for Wii News. Do you think? What do you think your game of April is going to be? Let's say we're doing game of the month. Do you think Saros or Pragmata, or is there another one that you think is going to be like?
Are we
your game
allowed
of
to
the
say
month?
the Starfield DLC?
No.
Okay. Saros then. I think Saros.
You think Saros is going to?
I think Saros is going to have you haven't played it either. Obviously,
No.
Andy and Raj have. I think Saros, from everything they say, of like, it's going to have the juice of Returnal, but then also not be as punishing and also have a better story, not better, maybe this isn't the right word, but more focus on a story. Like, that sounds like my fucking jam. Like, I'm very excited for Saros because the Pragmata, I think, has really great moment-to-moment gameplay. I love the hacking. I want to see how that expands and goes on from there, but am I going to connect with the story of Pragmata?
Pragmata.
Mata.
It don't matter.
Mata.
I'm with you, but mainly because Returnal was my game of the year 2021.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Saros is just such an easy slam dunk for me. The thing I'll give to Pragmata is that is still somewhat of an unknown quantity.
100%.
And like I can be kind of a freak a little bit when it comes to games that just are not something I've experienced before.
Oh, yeah, for
Like,
sure.
If Pragmata brings enough fresh shit to the table, and if Saros is like, oh, I've played this, I can just play Returnal, then I could see Pragmata like sneaking through and end up being a game that I fall in love with a little bit more. But
Okay.
Saros, of course, has the juice for me right
Yeah.
now. Let's hop into some super chats, Greg.
Super chats.
We got a birthday tax from the Stoner Sensei, who writes in and says, birthday tax. Yes, my birthday is actually April Fool's. My whole existence is a joke. Smoking a bone while I watch along with you boys for my 35th. Please keep plowing that chicken into eternity.
Jesus Christ.
Happy birthday.
There was a lot to unpack in there, but happy birthday.
The Daniel,
Daniel.
the Danish, and then it cuts off. The Danish GH writes in and says, "Bless, are you excited for the new Strixhaven set? Also, how many commander decks do you have, and which is your favorite?" So I have a lot of commander decks, mainly like the pre-con ones. I never use them though because I like making my own commander decks, and so I have one that is my girl. Why can't I think of her name? Zamone, the black blue one that gives counters every single turn. That's one of the commander decks. That's like my most powerful one. I have another one that's a Shadow the Hedgehog commander deck.
Nice. I love that.
That's like my trickster commander deck. I love using it. And I'm excited for Strixhaven, although I know very little about it. I know news was breaking this morning as far as some of those details, so I'm going to check those out later. Mike Like Music writes in and says, CDPR's April Fool's joke today is hilarious. I missed this one. Did you see this one?
See it, no.
Bear, can you see if you can find CD Projekt Red's April Fool's thing? And then Aaron Lime writes in and says, Bless is pressed about the Nier joke. Me too. I don't know what the Nier joke is. But I'm scared. I'm scared to learn what it is. We got another one from La Ladrona, who says, would y'all rather eat a really good sandwich or a really good soup? Come on, be brave. And give me an answer.
I'll go you one better. It could be the best soup in the world, and I'll take the really good sandwich.
I agree. I 100%
soup
agree.
Sucks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What am I? In Russia, starving in 1942?
I'll do you one better. What am I, thirsty? Like, fucking food.
I want fucking food. I want to eat something.
Filling.
Soup sucks.
Yeah.
Y'all
Now,
eating
of course,
bad soup,
pho is great. Pho is great. Ramen's
Pho's great. Yeah, I love pho. Yeah.
Pho. Sorry, yes, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of talking about a million things.
Yeah, well, like, what are my favorite soups? Like, yeah, ramen.
You can have a soup that's hearty and good like a pho.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm straight.
I like pho, but I still like the sandwich more probably.
Yeah, give me a sandwich.
Give me
I was literally, I had this decision yesterday where I was at a, what's it called? Oh, I forget the name of it. What up?
Panera.
No, it was at a ramen spot yesterday, really close to
Momofuku Ramen.
Fox Theater, where I saw Dave. And I was looking at the menu, and it's a ramen spot, so I'm like, I could order the ramen. But then I saw they had a burger. I forget what it's like a pork burger, and I was like, give me that burger, bro.
Yeah.
Give me that burger. I ended up ordering neither though. I thought about the burger, and then I was like, but they got a salmon 3-way rice bowl.
Oh, okay.
Went with that instead.
Rice bowls are good, yeah.
But I almost went with the burger.
Sure, fair enough.
Was never gonna go with the ramen.
No.
Yeah.
You have to be in a mood. You got to be in a soup mood.
I gotta be ready to sweat.
Yeah.
Let's bring in one from Foxy Steve, who says, just wanted to say that as a partially disabled man, working out can be demotivating, but bless your gym gains encourage me to continue going. Thank you so much, Foxy Steve. I posted a rare.
I was going to
gym
say a
selfie.
story up today in the gym.
I get very not I'm not great at posting selfies. I don't like posting myself.
Sure.
You know, I feel like I'm being corny when I do it or cringe.
Okay, fair.
But
I don't think you are.
I'm trying to like get the confidence to
Go
do
for it. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, good. Do it for me. Every day, do it and say, this is for Greg.
This is for Greg.
Really
tag you.
confuse your audience.
And then we got one from Corey.
You get all these DMs like, your boss can't ask for selfies on me.
It's like, I don't know. I didn't read that in the handbook. Corey C307 writes in and says, I don't get to watch y'all live very often due to my work schedule, but I'm off today. So here I am. Love you guys and keep up the great work.
We love you. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you so much for hanging out, Corey.
Man, I packed a lunch now. I really want a really great sandwich. Or even a mid sandwich, a very good sandwich.
Yeah.
What about like a really
Absolutely
good
not.
soup
Nope.
and a bread
No.
bowl?
No.
A bread bowl,
No,
Greg?
No.
You know how like
I'm not a fucking 75-year-old tourist at Pier 39. I need my clam out the Bowden Bread Factory. I got a bread bowl, clam chowder.
you know how you order a grilled cheese and it comes with a tomato soup. What are we doing with that tomato soup?
I pour it on the ground.
Like, spit in it, like toss it out
What?
later.
Get out of here.
What?
What's wrong?
I'm here for the grilled cheese, bro.
You're not dipping that into the tomato soup?
I mean, I
Blessing,
am,
what the
but I'm not.
fuck are
I
you
am,
doing with
but I'm
your
not
life?
doing it every time. You
I've
know
never
what I
been
mean?
more angry
I
at you.
never asked for this tomato soup. It just came with the thing. Kebabs referring to Mario Galaxy says, sounds like it's the Pokemon ZA of movies.
I disagree, but I mean, I guess I can see your take on that. But ZA was a great game.
Silver J. Hawkins says, the only way I'm watching this Mario movie is unless it's retold somewhat vaguely back to me by Greg. Tune in for an
Fuck,
interview.
am I the one who recapped Mario? Am I the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Mario recap guy?
Are you going to be able to recap this
No.
one? We are Liminal Faces says, moving too fast. Wish they did Mario World first. I mean, we'll talk about it in review because I have thoughts. I have some thoughts there. And then
Fuck, I am talking a lot.
Nash says, April Fools should be Misinformation Awareness Day. I agree with you there. It sounds like you're doing the recap.
Yeah, that's bad.
Good luck. Maybe the Wikipedia's up?
Yeah, I don't like doing that. I'll give you my spotty recollection.
Fair enough. To be fair, there's not a lot of details.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty simple. Let's hop into You're Wrong, where you write in and let us know what we got wrong as we got it wrong so we can correct it for those watching later on YouTube.
Control F soup and just delete them all because they're all like, no, you've never had soup from here. This soup's great, blah, 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 blah.
Grezik writes in with a good one. Minos is how it's pronounced, not Minos. Minos. I assume because of Minotaur,
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
but Minos.
But again, language isn't the, vocal cords of the beholder. So if we say Minos, whatever we say is what it is. Back to pragmata. You know what I mean? We made that. That's how it is now.
Potato, potato.
Exactly. You don't like it? You should have had a microphone in front of your face, Grezik, instead of fucking doing real work over there.
Jet244 says, not really a You're Wrong, which I almost just stopped reading there, but just a friendly gotcha. Greg says he avoids early access games, but Skate is an early access game that he puts in his top 10 last year.
Yeah.
And that is
But how many other early access games did I, you know what I mean? It's the No Homers Club. I can have one.
And,
No.
here's the thing. Skate
It's
Early
plural.
Access is the closest it's going to get to 1.0.
Let's all be honest. Skate's never getting out of the crib. All right? EA's already got the pillow on its face right now.
Yeah. Greg,
Yeah.
that brings us to the end of this episode of
Wow, what an
Daily.
episode. I hope we have a banger Gamescast after this.
What is that Gamescast?
How to fix Xbox.
Oh, that's got to be a banger.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be people mad. Paris Lily's calling in.
Whoa. Tune in for that right after this and all the stuff happening after. Of course, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. If you love what you do, remember, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free and get a daily exclusive show.
Sassy Soothsayer says, as a soup hater, stay strong, boys. You're on the right side of history.
Hell yeah.
All these fucking soup people. You know what I mean?
We got to have a conversation about the soup people. Just like, what do you do for nourishment if you're just drinking water for a meal?
Those are the kind of people you can't trust in a bathtub because they'll just start drinking it thinking it's soup. You know what I mean? These psychos. These fucking psychos.
Enjoy the Gamescast next and everything after. But until next time, game daily.